How's it going, everyone? My name is Adrian. Welcome back to God's Basement. So at the end of the last episode, I had barricaded my grandmother into her room just to make sure she didn't hurt herself or anyone else in the house, namely me. But as I was trying to go to sleep, I definitely heard what sounded like the barricades being broken off the door and her door opening. So let's see what the damage is out there. Ooh, the lag. And there we go. Yep. Barricades are off the door. And she is definitely roaming somewhere in this house. Let's see if we can find her. Definitely spooked right now. Say anything different here? Come on. Nope. What about this note? Nope. Still says the same stuff. Okay, so let's, Grandma, are you going to make yourself a midnight snack? I can already tell it's going to take you a long time. Oh! Okay, I thought you were going to walk towards me all the way, but I guess not. Where did you go, Grandma? Sending me on a wild goose chase to find you. Not in there. Something tells me you're in the basement. God's basement? Ha ha! That's where it comes from. Alright, let's go down into God's basement then. God's actual basement. Another broken plate. What does this say? Come on, let me read it. Pain, are you full of it? Patience, are you out of it? When will your suffering end? Her is crossed out. Oh, God. Seems to be like she's suffering more than I am. And, yeah, she's not down here. Seems like the only thing I can do is maybe try and go...
Pain.
Oh.
Are you full of it? Patience. Are you out of it? James, when will your suffering end?
I don't know, man.
You wanted her to die, didn't you? Not for her sake, but for your own. You yearned for her death, not because her suffering would cease. It was because yours would cease as well.
Wow, that's really dark. I sure hope that's not actually the case. Hold on now, can I go in here now? No. Hold on now, can I... Oh! Oh, hello! Okay then. Today I found my laptop broken. I left her alone for just a few minutes while I was in the bathroom, and I guess she walked into my bedroom and had an episode. I'll have to drain my savings in order to replace it. That's not good. Or you could drain your savings just to get it fixed. Where does she go now? Grandma. Grandma, where'd you go?
Do you feel the resentment pulsating through your veins? Do you feel the last breath of patience exiting your body? Do you feel the rage welling up, overflowing, displacing empathy, sympathy, and love?
Wow.
Do you hear it? It's calling you. A way out. Follow it. Let it guide you.
Are you talking about the music? Definitely down here now. Very bassy, holy shit. There we go. Onto a new area. Alright, so I'm still in the house. Oh. Okay. Hello? Close you. And there's a bunch of notes here. What does this say? Okay, so I'll paraphrase this. This was in the first episode I did of this game. And this basically tells the story of how the grandmother, Margaret Young, was in the car with her husband. And her husband was probably drunk or something like that. And crashed into a tree. And him and their infant grandson passed away because of it. Margaret Young, oh God, what just happened there? Margaret Young, the grandmother, survived. So this is the son whose baby was killed in the accident. Left this note, or sent this note to his mother, the grandmother. Dear mother, sorry I haven't been answering your calls. I know it wasn't your fault, but losing Kevin and Dad has taken a toll on all of us. I think Sarah and I just need some time to grieve and accept what happened. Take care. Your son, Neil Young. And this was a note that she herself made. They never answered any of my letters or my calls. I waited an eternity to hear the sound of their voices. Couple brutally murdered. Okay, so we'll take a step back really quick. So basically, her son never really called her because the anguish of what happened to his son and his father really took its toll on his family. And they kind of just needed some space, some time to grieve. But in doing that, they left the grandmother all by herself with nobody around. Her husband is dead. Her grandson is dead. And she's just all alone, waiting to hear the sound of her own son's voice. So, after going completely insane over the amount of time, I don't know how long it was, but the amount of time that she went without talking to her son, this happened. Couple brutally murdered. And I should also say that after the accident, Neil Young and his wife, Sarah Young, ended up having another baby, James, the character I'm playing as. And the grandmother, Margaret Young, wanted very badly to see her new grandson, but they were afraid that the same thing might happen, that there would be another accident and her grandson would be killed again, and they would have to go through the whole process of grieving. And, that would be way too much for the family to handle. So, after also being kept away from her new grandson, this ended up happening. A brutal crime scene emerged this weekend within a quiet suburban neighborhood. 2 victims, Neil Young and Sarah Young, were viciously stabbed by an unknown assailant. The 2 parents leave an infant son behind. Authorities do not have a lead, and it was reported that each victim was stabbed over 30 times, resulting in the face of the victims to be heavily distorted and mangled. This brutal crime has shocked the local community. So my point of view is that the grandmother did it. Margaret Young killed her own son and daughter-in-law in order to be able to basically raise the newborn grandson that she had. Yep. Oh yeah, here we go. This is confirming it.
Some old boxes, you found an interesting set of documents that revealed the truth about your past.
Yep.
Your grandparents were involved in an accident that killed your grandfather and your infant brother. It wasn't your grandmother's fault entirely, but your parents couldn't help but put the blame on her. With no family or friends left, living a hopeless and bleak existence, your grandmother decided to murder them.
I knew it.
With your parents out of the way, she could raise you all by herself. Her desire was selfish and evil.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was all you needed. A way to justify her death. A way to break the burden of taking care of her. Do you remember what you did?
Oh,
I'll
no.
walk you through it once more, just in case you've forgotten.
Don't tell me. Okay, let's read this because I didn't get a chance. I did something unspeakable. I killed them. I murdered them both. I didn't know what to do. I had nothing left to live for. I'm so sorry. So yeah, the very grisly end to their lives. Do I go back out here? Yes, I do. Okay. Do I go back in here? Yes, I do, and it's taking me back. Something tells me I shouldn't trust that red light over there. Walk up these stairs any slower, man? Come on. Grandma, did you change all the lights? Did you change the color? Get the knife, get the new radio, get the phone, place the knife on her bed, replace the old radio, place the phone on the table outside the door, way outside her room. Jeez, that's so much to do. Alright, so get the knife and then get the new radio. Which I don't know what he means by new radio. Oh, well, that's locked. And all the lights in the house are red. Okay, what does this say? Oh yeah, this is just reiterating. So get the knife, get the new radio, get the phone, and then what? Place the knife on her bed, place the old radio, replace the old radio, place the phone on the table outside the door, wait outside her room. Okay then. So this is her room. Wow. Jesus. Place the knife on her bed. Replace the old radio. And there was something I had to put out here. Oh yeah, the phone.
Yes, I'm talking to you. Are you listening to me? I know that I might seem suspicious, but for now, I'm going to need you to trust me. Are you in pain? Do you want that pain to go away? I can show you a way out, but you're going to have to do exactly what I say.
Oh God.
Don't worry, very soon you won't feel any pain at all.
Oh
You
no.
won't have to suffer any longer. The first thing I want you to do is to grab the knife on your bed. You're doing a great job. It's very sharp, so please be careful with it. The next step is to gently press the knife against your stomach. You're doing a wonderful job. Now, press a little harder. Keep applying more pressure until the knife penetrates the flesh of your stomach. You might feel quite a bit of pain.
Jesus Christ, dude.
You're doing a great job. I want you to pull the knife out. Is there a warm, red fluid gushing out of your stomach? If so, then you applied enough pressure. I know that this might be painful, but pretty soon it's going to be all over. I want you to repeat the process, except now go a little to the right of the original spot. Keep applying pressure until the knife penetrates the flesh. Now that you've done the process twice, for the third time, go to the left of the original spot. Once again, keep applying pressure until the knife penetrates the flesh. You're doing a great job. Now return to the original spot.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Stab the knife into the wound 3 times. This time, don't slowly apply pressure. I want you to press the knife into your stomach as hard as you can. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. You're doing a wonderful job. Are you in pain? Are you suffering? I know you are, but don't worry. It'll all go away soon. This is the last step. Are you ready? All you have to do is to repeat the process, except this time, press the knife against your neck. Whenever you're ready, just quickly thrust the knife into your neck. Then very soon, all the pain will go away.
Dude.
That's it. Let it all go. Pass on into the next world, wherever that might be. Goodbye. I can guarantee you will not be missed.
Holy shit, dude. That was grotesque. What is this now? Oh, is this her vision?
James, you murdered her. You knew about her delusions. She always talked about the man in the radio, so you decided to become that character. You replaced the old radio and then played an audio file telling her to stab herself repeatedly with a knife. You knew she was delusional and had episodes of schizophrenia. She followed your instructions and eventually bled to death due to her self-inflicted injuries. Since all the evidence pointed to a suicide, you weren't charged with anything. You finally got what you wanted. You were finally free. You might be wondering how exactly you ended up dead. Well, for the first few months, you lived your life carefree. You actually enjoyed life to some extent, not being tied down by an ill relative. But eventually, that all came crashing down. It started off with brief, horrific, gruesome nightmares. Visions of her stabbing herself endlessly, blood gushing out of her wounds, flooding your mind with blood-red guilt. Slowly, these nightmares leaked into your daily life. You'd see her out of the corner of your eye, whether you were driving, walking down the street, or at work. Even though you killed her, she never really left. She lived in your mind and haunted you every day until you eventually couldn't fall asleep. Every time you closed your eyes, even for the briefest of moments, she'd manifest in your subconscious.
Wow.
Eventually you went to the hospital and you were prescribed sleep medicine, but that only suppressed the issue. Slowly your body adjusted to the medicine and you needed to increase the dose for the medicine to be effective. This process kept repeating until you were taking multiple times the recommended amount. You were addicted until one night you overdosed on sleep medication.
Wow, dude.
Right now, in this moment, your physical body is currently in a hospital bed, hovering between the thin line of life and death. You're still probably wondering why you're here in God's basement. I'll finally tell you who I am and what this place really is.
Okay, cool.
God's basement is a realm for those who have committed great sin but are still redeemable. The individuals that arrive in God's basement relive their own versions of hell, allowing them to reflect on their life and watch their slow descent into evil. Their resentment, hate, bitterness, and jealousy accumulate until those emotions manifest themselves through atrocious acts, yours being murder. You were backed into a corner, watching your life slowly pass you by. All those opportunities you sacrificed. All that potential wasted. You became bitter and resentful. Many could sympathize with you. Many might have even done the same. You were hopeless, and it felt like you were inside a living hell. I am called the Operator. I am an entity that manifests in God's basement. I manifest myself in different ways depending on the person. My job is to guide the person inside God's basement and allow them to relive their life from a different perspective.
Interesting.
In your case, I manifested with many characteristics resembling the man in the radio. Hopefully this explanation cleared everything up. You're still probably wondering what happens now that you have all your memories. I mentioned earlier that God's basement are for those who are still redeemable. Even though you committed an atrocious sin, you were trapped in a hopeless existence. Also, the person you killed wasn't really your grandmother. She was a shell of her former self. Your grandmother died long ago. Part of you wanted to see her suffering cease. Your crime was both cruel and merciful at the same time.
Wow.
You are going to get a second chance at life. Pretty soon you're going to wake up in a hospital bed out of your drug-induced coma. Learn to live with what you did, the feelings of guilt, Paranoia and pain will never completely go away.
Of course.
James, make the most out of life and be grateful for this second chance. One last thing. Good luck.
Good luck. Wow. Okay, so that was one of the most grim endings to a game I've ever experienced. What is going on now? Okay. Wow, man. All right. So I guess that was God's Basement. I didn't know that that was going to be the ending of the game. But oh man. Oh man. That was really, really dark. Thank you for playing. You're welcome. Thank you for making this game. Honestly, a really good game. It wasn't without its faults. You know, it wasn't really the most responsive. There was quite a bit of lag involved. And the staircase situation was a little bit iffy. The fact that I can't really get upstairs very well. But otherwise, I mean, it had such a solid story, such a great atmosphere to it. Hello, I'm the developer of God's Basement. You've reached the end and I wanted to say thank you for playing through the whole game. I'm still pretty new to creating video games, so I hope the experience was bearable. Hopefully you enjoyed the experience. Maybe someday you'll play another one of my games if I'm able to release another one. Thank you, Erebus. You know what? I would give this game about a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's not without its faults. You know, there were some issues that I encountered playing the game. But aside from that, like I was saying, the atmosphere of this game was phenomenal. The story was incredibly solid, and it really provoked a lot of different feelings and sensations within me. The other really good thing is that this game was really good when it comes to sound, and that's a very important part of horror games. The sound has to be really on point, and I think this game did a really good job of creating a really creepy and dark atmosphere, especially with the sound the entire time. And the other thing is, I mean, this game isn't like your typical survival horror type of game where you have to like run and hide. It's more of a walking simulator experience. So it's a lot slower paced, and a lot more about just soaking in the environment and just being genuinely creeped out by what's around you. So for that, I definitely have to say that this game did a very good job and met and exceeded a lot of my expectations on what this game was going to be like. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you guys want to play this game for yourself, I highly recommend it. You can find it in Steam, just search God's Basement on Steam. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to hit that like button down below and leave a comment with any opinions or suggestions for games you want to see me play in the future. And if you like what I'm doing on this channel, feel free to also hit that subscribe button down below to stay up to date on my videos. I try to put up at least 5 videos a week, so stay tuned for more. Once again, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Take it easy.